Am I live? I'm live. All right. Hello, everybody. It's Joe with Joe Knows Cryptos. I am just going to do a very quick video update. It's almost 1:30 in the morning on April 6th. And I got a little emotional on the last video and a little bit carried away maybe, but I want to come on here just real quick and say, America's strong. We've got good leadership, and I've got a good feeling. I wasn't so sure a couple weeks ago, but here's what I think is going on with the markets, all right? America, whether you want to believe it, face it or not, we are in a war. Hey, Stephen, how you doing? Yeah, it's going to be a quick one. It's 1:30 here, practically where I am, about ready to go to bed, but I wanted to just come on here real quick and make a quick video. I thought for sure the markets were going to tank. I thought they were going to crash. The unemployment numbers came in. They were astronomical. One of our highest paying jobs in America, oil production, shale, oil prices are at, 20-year lows or something like that. Obviously, we can't afford to drill in America if the oil prices are this low. That's going to be a lot more high-paying jobs that people are going to be unemployed at. A lot of businesses are closing down. A lot of people are dying from, this virus and everything. I thought for sure markets were going to tank. Of course, we're all aware that the government was just pouring money into this market to keep it up. And at the time, I thought it was un-American because if you're going to have a capitalist system, you've got to let things rise and fall as they go, right? That's just the way that it is. But now there's two reasons why they're keeping this market propped up. Fuel as low as $1.19 in Arkansas. Holy cow. I'm in South Carolina. We have pretty low fuel taxes here, and I think the lowest I saw was about $1.64, but that was yesterday. I didn't really go out today, so it could be lower today. All right, but here's the two main reasons. Peace, guys. Why I'm not so sure now that these markets are going to crash. First one mainly is the government can't let these markets crash because it could lead to a depression, which will cause more problems and take forever to get out of. They'd rather just throw trillions of dollars into the market, put the country in further debt, but they may have a plan or a way to get out of that. But if we do fall into a depression, major problems for about a decade. It's not good for anyone. Second, but I think what's the most important reason is if the government lets the stocks crash. See, we're already in a battle, a civil war. It's a behind-the-scenes kind of war. All right. Anybody that watches independent news networks kind of have an idea of what's going on here. So 98 cents in Wisconsin. Wow, Mr. Bowen, that's cheap. But the main reason is the government doesn't want these high-quality companies, the companies that are really good companies that are in America, that have jobs in America, that produce things in America. There's not many left. Most of them have gone overseas to China and other places, but there are still some here. Now, if their prices go down too low, you're going to have the George Soros of the world and the Warren Buffetts of the world doing hostile takeovers of these good quality companies that have no reason to be going down other than this virus scare. And if these two guys, smiley old Warren Buffett, who's really a wolf in sheep's clothing, he doesn't produce anything. The only thing he does is take over companies that are undervalued, trim the fat, lay people off, and make them profitable again. And these companies will be profitable again once this virus and everything passes, because they were profitable already. It just happened to be a freak thing that's happening here. With the virus, it's going to artificially lower their prices. And now they're being artificially pumped up for the reason that they don't want these scumbags to come in and buy them and lay people off, or stop producing necessities for America, because their intentions are to bring America down. You can't bring America down with a war, because we have nuclear weapons. Every, half the citizens in the country are armed. You can't do an invasion because every citizen is practically a soldier, because we all have weapons. So countries know that you cannot just take down America. We have too much firepower and too much history. And when the road gets rough, we do pull together. After 9/11, we did pull together. So that's not the way to take down America. The way to take down America is from the inside out, make us weak, bringing all the fentanyl that China's been pumping in here, bringing the heroin. People are overdosing. It's an epidemic. They're trying other ways to make us weak. And then with this COVID-19, I don't know what the purpose, if it's, I tend to believe that there's more to it than it just being a natural occurring virus. But it was made to bring down our economy. So now these greedy people can come in, grab up these good companies and drive them down in to the ground. So we virtually have no profitable money-making production in America. And that probably could have been one of the last things that could bring us to our knees, really. We would have to basically become socialist at that point, because there would be no jobs. There would be no way for people to support themselves and pay their bills without government handouts. So I honestly believe that that is the main reason for the government stepping in and buying up these stocks to keep the stock market propped up. And because of that, I don't think they're going to let these stocks go down to wholesale prices where these scumbags are going to be able to buy in for pennies on the dollar. All right. So, guys, that's what I want to say. Let me talk about cryptocurrency real quick here. I just looked at the market cap here, and it's over 194 billion. So it has gone up a little bit over the weekend. You got the Bitcoin halving coming up, which people have been talking about for months now. Some people say we're still going to see an economic crash, and that's going to bring the price of Bitcoin down. When people are unemployed, they're going to need money to buy groceries and pay bills, and they'll sell their Bitcoin. I still firmly believe we have a basement at a market cap of 118 where hodlers are strong. These are people that are not going to sell, rain or shine, hell or high water. If Bitcoin goes down to zero, they're not going to sell. And I believe that market cap is firm at 118 billion market cap. This is not financial advice, but I believe there's more upside potential than downside potential. And I believe Bitcoin is still a bargain right now. Let's find out over the next few days what goes, because the closer we get to the halving, and each day that goes by, supposedly, the further away, the closer we're going to get to this virus peaking, leveling off, and then going back down. Once that happens, we could see some very big moves in all the markets, including cryptocurrencies. I'm going to go ahead and just read through comments real quick here. I want to try to keep this video real short, like I said. How long, Joe, will we be quarantined? That's a good question. If it's up to the elites, forever. They want control of our lives. They want control of our money. They want control of where we go, who we talk to. They can already track us on our phones everywhere we go, with face recognition, with cameras on every street corner. If it was up to them, they would like to depopulate the world and take out a few trillion people, if possible, and keep us confined, keep us not talking and communicating with each other. And when we do communicate with each other, they want to do it through social media where they can track everything and hear what we have to say. So if it was up to the elites, it would be forever. If it's up to the government that's currently in place, I would say, I know they're saying 2 weeks, but that's where the peak is. I'm saying, I'd say maybe a month, maybe 30 more days. After that, I think, as long as the leadership that's in control now is still in control, I'm going to say they're going to have us all get back to regular normal life in about a month, about 30 days. I say about another week to 2 weeks of this thing going up, a week of it leveling off, a week of it starting to go down. And once it starts to go down, then I think they're going to just let us go back to work, and they may cancel school for the rest of the year since the school year is practically at an end. They may not just want to take a chance on sending people back to work, kids back to school for another month, and then reinfect. But other than that, regular jobs, I think about another 30 days, in my opinion. All right, yeah, guys, I don't get paid for these. Just give me a like, comment something down below. I guess it all helps the algorithms for me to be exposed to more viewers along the way. So I do appreciate that if you can do that much for me. Black Monday today. Death-wise, maybe, Matt, but I did look at the Dow Jones pre-market, and it's up over 700 points right now. So it's not looking like a Black Monday to me. I think they're going to keep it pumped up for the reasons I stated earlier in this this video. When the bull runs, Slim Shady asked. Well, Slim M, let me tell you, I think bull run in about 3 weeks, unless some good news comes out sooner. Bitcoin is very volatile, and it is one of those things that can make explosive moves upward. I mean, it can go up 5, 6, 7, 8,000 in a day, honestly. Have any news hype, people get afraid they're going to miss out, anything's possible. But I'm thinking probably about 3 weeks after this virus scare is kind of getting behind us, we'll be even closer to the halving then. I'm saying about 3 weeks probably. Do I like Digibyte? I don't own any Digibyte, but I do like Digibyte's technology. I do like what they do. The biggest thing I don't like about Digibyte is it's not easy enough to buy. I know there are places you can buy it, but I'd love to see it get on a major exchange where it's just easy for people to get in and out of it. And that's one of the things that will keep people out. Slim Shady, are the death numbers real in the US? That's a good question. I've heard conflicting things about that. I've heard people say that they know police officers who say this is real, there's bodies piled up, they're in trailers. And then I've heard conflicting stories that, you know, they say they've got big lines for testing, and the news reporters are there, and as soon as the news reporters leave, they circle back around, they come back 10 minutes later, and the lines are completely gone. They talk to the nurses, and they say, we have some patients, but it's not that bad. We're expecting to have a big influx of patients, but we don't really have anything yet to speak of. So it's conflicting, and that's the problem with the news nowadays. You don't know who you can trust, you know what I mean? Lying liars who lie about everything. Numbers are not accurate. Many would have died of other causes as well. That's very true as well. You know, people could die of a heart attack or with a flu, and they could just say, yeah, it was coronavirus. So I guess eventually we'll find out. I would say let's just see what happens this week. Let's see if it spreads to other places and they start having mass infections like New York. Because if, I guess in California, the curve has already gone down. I think in Louisiana, it was going up last week. I haven't really checked on that today. But in New York, you know, I hate to say it, guys, if you're from New York, but a high Democrat controlled area that wants Trump out, they may fudge the numbers. You know, they already lied about saying that they didn't have all the ventilators when they found like 1,000 more in storage somewhere, when they said, de Blasio said that they didn't have enough, and that, you know, the government and Trump wasn't giving them enough. Then they went and found 1,000 more in a storage room that he hadn't been using. I just don't trust anything that they do or say. I'm sorry. And it's hard to know what the truth is. You just got to kind of gather the evidence and kind of make a judgment call on your own. But overall, even though a lot of people have died from this, compared to regular flu, other things that people die from, it's still not even in the top 10 causes of death in America. So especially if this thing starts to level off. Lots of small businesses won't recover. Yeah, that is true. That's unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of job losses, but hopefully, if they're smart, they've already gone ahead and applied for that government grant. If you have under 500 employees, basically, I applied for it. I have a small painting business. Um, they'll give you up to $10,000, basically 0% interest, and from what they say, most of it is supposed to be a grant, so it's forgiven. You don't even have to pay it back. Um, yeah, I do need some sleep. Oh, I did have bad news as well. Uh, right after my last video, my mother passed away. Not from COVID. She just was in the hospital, and she was about to come home. We were at the front door to pick her up. We couldn't go in the hospital, of course, because of this coronavirus. They wouldn't let anybody in. We couldn't even visit her the whole week she was there. But we went to pick her up, and apparently they went to move her from her bed into her wheelchair, and she suffered either a massive stroke or a mass heart attack. They haven't given the final word yet, but she passed on. So that was a bit of sad news for my father and I, who were there to pick her up. That was not expected, but God bless. Please send prayers. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to sign off now. It's late. Peace. Love you all. God bless. Hug the wife, kids, and kisses, and pet the pets. All right. Joe Knows Crypto signing off. Bye now.